I'm Clyde Kramer, and I collect firearms, as you can see. I was always interested in firearms because they were always everywhere I was when I grew up. We always had a shotgun or a rifle behind the front door, and always went hunting, lived right next to the hardwood forest, and went hunting for squirrels and whatever, deer. And so I got into collecting firearms. And in 1961 I met a fellow that collected military rifles, and I thought that was neat because they were cheap. So I started collecting British Enfields and Japanese rifles and Mausers and things like that, but I pretty well settled on British Enfields. What I have here is a German-made double rifle, made at Seoul, Germany by Fisher and Sons in 1932. It has 26-inch barrels, but overall length is very short because there isn't any space given up to an action like in a bolt-action rifle. The caliber is 9.3 by 74R, which means the diameter of the projectile is 3.366 diameter, a little over 36 caliber, and the cartridge case is 74 millimeters long, which means that it's 3 inches long. The R means it's a rimmed cartridge, and a rimmed cartridge is preferable in a double rifle. You don't have extraction problems. When you build a double rifle for a rimless cartridge, you can expect to have ejection problems, extraction problems down the road. The case on this is tapered, so you don't have as much problem with extraction. And the double rifle came about way back before bolt-action rifles. When they were hunting dangerous game in Africa, you always had a second shot in case the first one didn't do it. And this was designed so that you got a cartridge in the toe of the butt stock. Flips open, you got 4 cartridges. That's a factory round with a 285 grain projectile. You can see the case is tapered, and for extraction, and it's got a rim on it to help extracting the cartridge case from the chamber after it's fired.
So the trigger guard?
Trigger guard is made out of buffalo horn. It's a double trigger. The front trigger is the right barrel, the back trigger is the left barrel. When you push the top lever,
Other way, Daddy.
it breaks open. This is called an Anson and Dealey action with a greener cross bolt. You can see the cross bolt right here that locks it. When you push the lever, it unlocks the cross bolt so you can open up and check the fired cartridges. The nice thing about a double rifle, they're very well balanced. For the medium rounds, medium light rounds, the rifle doesn't weigh much. It's not like a 577 Nitro Express or a 600 for elephant.
How do they regulate the barrels?
The barrels are silver soldered together, and before they finally silver solder them the last time, they fire rounds through them to get them to impact at, say, 100 meters. That's the normal distance. And then when they get the right barrel and the left barrel together within an inch or so at 100 meters, then they silver solder the barrel. But if it's regulated for a certain powder charge and a certain weight bullet, you can't change. If you fire a lighter one, it'll go in a different spot. It'll hit differently. And it's a trick to get them regulated. I finally regulated this one by shooting an RWS factory round in one barrel and a normal round in the other barrel, and they print very close together at 100 meters. And I've got a scope on it, and but if the scope fails, you can take it off and you got the open sights. And the 9.3 millimeter is fairly heavy recoil.